You just wrapped up on stage here at the AJC Candidate Forum. Let's talk about a recent poll that just came out in a moment, but I think we should start here. We're about 24 hours after a big night for Democrats here in Georgia and across the country. You used to be a Republican, now you're a Democrat, you're running for governor. How did the results of last night's elections shape how you're thinking through the duration of your campaign moving forward?
Well, I think it just reinforces the fact that Republicans have got it wrong. I think they've got the wrong leader. They've got the wrong priorities. When you keep food from people, when you keep the government shut down, when you just continue to take your eye off of meeting people where they're at, you're going to get a reaction like they got last night, not only here in Georgia, but in Virginia and New Jersey, and I suspect it's going to continue to play out.
You think this was a referendum on President Trump?
Absolutely, absolutely. This guy is the most toxic human to hit the political stage in this country. He's led the Republicans off into no man's land, and in fact, it's a cult. And I think folks every day are seeing it, and that's the golden opportunity for Democrats right now. I mean, the golden opportunity for Democrats is this tent can get huge if we're just ready to accept folks from Democrats all the way to disgusted Republicans and everybody in between. And that truly, I think, is happening.
This is not the first time you've talked with me about the idea of a big tent party and even growing the tent even further. Democrats are having a conversation right now, and it's going to continue about what the future of their party and their standard bearers looks like. In Virginia and in New Jersey, you saw relative centrist Democrats win the governor's mansions there. In New York City, Zoran Mamdani is a Democratic socialist, and he won the mayor's race. Those are very different poles of the Democratic Party. Where do you think the next Democratic leader in Georgia should land on that spectrum?
Yeah, I think Georgia Democrats are wired differently. I think they're wired to be very pragmatic. They want somebody to show up and solve their problems, meet them where they're at. They spent the last few election cycles having to play on the national platform. They've had to deal with national issues being introduced into the elections, and that hasn't worked for Democrats. I think Georgia wants folks to show up that solve their problems. Like, for example, it's not okay that Georgia's near the bottom of the list in this country in public education. It's not okay that infant and maternal mortality rates are near the bottom. I mean, these are real issues that we should dive into. We should pass common sense gun legislation. We should expand Medicaid. None of that's possible unless Democrats win. Second place trophies don't solve any of those problems.
Affordability has been at the top of mind for many voters, not just this year, but in the 2024 cycle and many cycles before that. Affordability remains top of mind for many voters. If you're elected, how do you make things more affordable in Georgia?
Well, I think you do everything that you can do. We have $17 billion in a rainy day fund. I think we need to take some of that. I'm calling for $1.7 billion, 10% of it, and laser focus that towards what I'm calling a jumpstart fund. Let's look at trying to angle those dollars towards single parents who can't go back to work because they can't afford childcare. Better fund the CAPS program. Look for opportunities to better fund the TANF program. Let's lower housing costs. Let's close skill gaps. Let's figure out ways to expand Medicaid so that the healthcare burden isn't so steep for families. There's lots of things we can do at the state level, but look, what's going on in D.C., we've got no friends in Washington, D.C.
Let me ask you two last questions here. We always want to be respectful of your time, and I know it's been a long night already for you here.
Just getting started.
Just getting started. But we are getting ready to wrap up, but I do want to ask you these last two questions. Let's talk about this poll. The AJC recently released a poll of likely Democratic primary voters, and in it, 5% of voters said they would support you in a Democratic gubernatorial primary. What do you need to do to change that narrative?
Just continue to meet people where they're at. Continue to get in the car, drive to those community meetings, have those breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, and fill the gaps in between. When folks hear my story and they hear my focus and my disciplined message of staying on the affordability crisis, the healthcare crisis, and the Donald Trump crisis, that's what Georgians want us to focus on. When I walk out of these Democratic meetings in the evenings, sometimes they're to claps, sometimes they're to standing ovations. Folks want to win. Geoff Duncan will win this race. I've certainly got the best chance to beat Burt Jones or whoever Donald Trump decides to handpick, which it looks like it's Burt Jones, because losing is dangerous for Democrats in this scenario. I mean, just think about it. If Burt Jones wins this race and becomes the next governor of Georgia, does anybody doubt that Donald Trump will be the default governor of this state? Does anybody think that he's not going to try to inject his ways into our public education system, put National Guard troops on the ground, or try to turn our state budget around? So we got to win, and I think Democrats realize Geoff Duncan's a winner.
You have won races here in Georgia. The last one you won was as a Republican. You're now trying to convince Democratic voters to support you. Do you think you have to overcome a credibility problem with some of these primary voters?
Just got to continue to earn people's trust and be honest with them. Talk about my political transformation. You know, some folks talk about me, you know, have you lost your mind, Geoff? I said, no, I found my heart. I wake up with a toolkit ready to serve the people of Georgia, ready to be able to tackle their healthcare issues, be able to improve their education, their public safety. Those are issues that Georgians really care about. And look, we got 12 months to win this election, and I'm looking forward to being the Democratic nominee.
Geoff Duncan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.